get right now to Assemblyman Charles Lavine. He has been in the middle of this and is dealing with it. Of course, legal teams right now considering the scope of the ruling, the breadth of it, if you will. Assemblyman, what is your reaction?
My reaction is that this decision is going to cause tremendous chaos, not only in New York, but in other states that have similar rules and regulations about concealed carry and about possession of weapons in general. The decision itself is over 130 pages long and is quite technical. In fact, it's hyper-technical. It's written by Justice Thomas, who is supposed to be a strict constructionist and originalist, and yet in this decision he says that what the founders had in mind in terms of the Second Amendment doesn't really matter so much these days, as opposed to any number of other decisions that are more conservative in nature that he advocates and backs. But in essence, what we are left to do is to try to figure out what did the founders have in mind when they drafted the Second Amendment, and how does that apply to guns in the modern world. And that's not going to be an easy decision to make. So not only New Yorkers, but many people throughout the United States of America, especially the 80% of people in our nation who believe in gun safety regulations, are going to be left scratching our heads and trying to figure out what is the best way to approach protecting our citizens.
A century-old law, obviously a major blow to New York State's gun laws right now. The way forward, as we've been talking about, is location-specific restrictions. Do you see that in our near future?
It will have to be. The decision does indicate that sensitive places can be protected from those who are carrying guns. Now, those sensitive places are schools, houses of worship, colleges. It could be within 1,000 feet of a school, places serving alcohol, government buildings, public parks, public transportation. And yet we're going to have to sort all that out. And this is going to be a very daunting proposition for all New Yorkers and for all Americans.
Assemblyman Marcia Kramer on set with me. Marcia, you have a question.
Yeah, Assemblyman, I know that because you're head of the Judiciary Committee, you're going to have to be looking at all these things. One of the things that's in the opinion is that while you can detail sensitive places, you can't just say all of Manhattan is a place where you can't carry a gun because it's overcrowded. So when you sort through what you can do in the Assembly Judiciary Committee, will you be looking at that? But also, will you be looking at the other states that are contiguous to New York that are affected, like Massachusetts and New Jersey, to find some way that you can have a regional response to this as well?
Marcia, we are going to have to do that, and this is the truth of the dilemmas that we face today. National politics and gun safety regulation is national politics, are now state politics. They're not only state politics, they are local politics as well. So we will have to look to work with our neighboring states, and these are some of the complex states in our nation. In other words, these are the states with larger populations and a demographic that runs the full gamut of economic, demographic, and ethnic, and racial. And we will have to look to see what we can do to make sure that we are protected not only within the confines of New York, but once someone goes over the border into Connecticut or New Jersey, of course.
Assemblyman, there's another question, though. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know, the governor has said that she would move quite quickly to call a special session of the legislature to deal with this. I know it's such a large opinion and there's so much to digest, but do you have any sense of how quickly you could be up and running to deal with all of this?
I would anticipate within a matter of days. I would anticipate by next week. It's not as if we didn't have a sense of what was going to be in the opinion. We did. Anyone who had read the argument, which was quite interesting, in the briefs, saw what was going to develop. Sad, however, that a conservative majority of this court now puts every American at risk. And I think the real answer here to what we do is twofold. First, those of us in states like New York are going to analyze the decision in great detail. We are going to pass laws to protect our citizens, and we are going to have to do what we can do to convince Americans in general to be part of the political and the governmental process. Because without that component, without both these components, we are going to see worse decisions coming from courts such as the Roberts Court.
And that is certainly the question as to what comes next in regard to gun laws that exist in New York. Do you expect to hear more cases in regard to those?
I think that this decision has opened the floodgates to years, generations worth of years of litigation.
100-year-old rule now eviscerated in New York in regard to the conceal and carry. New York State Assemblyman Charles Lavine, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us this morning about this breaking news.